Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast here for the Dental Leadership Summit. I'm very excited to welcome Jacquelyn Vasquez from Transparent Dental, or should I say Smile Obsession? So we will definitely have that as a question later.
Yeah, I believe people know us by Smile Obsession Dental.
Okay. All right. So
Yes.
it's Jacquelyn Vasquez, who's our guest today with Smile Obsession. I'm very excited to have her. She's the president at Smile Obsession. She has had a career path that is very much something that I admire and I want to highlight because she is a major contributor to what I believe is the success of Smile Obsessions today, and also a forward-looking, guiding person for someone that we want to highlight at the Dental Leadership Summit. So, with that said, welcome, Jackie. I have set up a series of questions, but feel free to elaborate and or ask your own questions. I want to get started when you and Dr. Patel first met, and so this is taking us back to 2009, and I wanted you to give me some insights into your career path once you joined Dr. Patel's practice. What happened there?
For sure. Well, first of all, thank you for the intro. I met Dr. Patel in 2009. At that point in my career, I decided that I no longer wanted to be a dental assistant. So prior to working with Dr. Patel, I was a dental assistant. I learned on the job. I was provided an opportunity to learn how to assist at an office that was willing to train me with zero experience. And I did that for about 6 to 7 years before I decided that I wanted to stay in the dental industry, but I didn't necessarily want to be a dentist. I felt I was at a crossroad in my career, and I decided I would try my hand in, an admin front desk duties. So I
Okay.
applied. I applied through a company that a lot of people are not familiar with anymore, but there was an ad that Dr. Patel put out on Craigslist.
Okay. So graduate checklist worked.
I responded to it. It's like so super throwback, but it wasn't that long ago, I feel like, but I guess it was. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
know Craigslist any longer, but I did apply to that ad. He called me for an interview. I went in, landed the position. I was originally hired as the assistant to the front office manager.
Okay.
And within about 6 months, I kind of outshined her, not intentionally. It's just my work ethic and my style of operating. It kind of, I don't know, led the way to
Yeah.
me being who Dr. Patel preferred to run the clinic. So it was very much of a blessing at the time to have met Dr. Patel because we were both young. We were both at a point where I was looking for more out of my career,
Yeah.
and he was looking for more in regards to growing his practice.
Yeah. So
Um,
quick question. At the time when you guys started, you only had two operatories, right? And
Correct,
then you
yes.
you you increased the size of the practice pretty drastically.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that and how that worked and or what the obstacles were there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we went from 2 ops to 26 ops in a matter of 5 years.
Yeah.
Um, Again, I was really young at the time. This was, 2009. This was 16 years ago. I didn't have wasn't married yet. I didn't have any children. I had nothing but time and energy.
Good.
And
That's what a business needs.
yeah, and kind of a drive to prove myself.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, well, I didn't go to dental school, but I still want to do something
Yeah.
major. Like, I want to be important in some type of way
Productive.
in this industry. And and he also, had energy 16 years ago, so he had energy, and he was trying to make a name for himself in the dental industry of downtown
Yeah.
Chicago. So together we decided that we wanted to expand. And really early on, I was kind of pulling from my past experience as a dental assistant
Hmm.
and offering up ideas based on my past experience in other places. So, for instance, I had worked for a period of time at the UIC College of Dentistry as a dental assistant,
Okay.
and I wanted to pull from there, like, hey, why don't we do more than just general dentistry here? We can bring in a periodontist, we can bring in an oral surgeon, we can
Yeah.
bring in somebody to see kids. So little by little, we agreed that let's start with perio. So we had brought in a periodontist 2 days a week.
Hmm.
Um, and, we would just think of ways to grow the office. Um, so it was first adding multi-specialty,
Okay.
um, then more general dentist and more hygienist. One of the one of the fondest memories between Dr. Patel and I is that every single December, we would meet for my annual review, and
Okay.
every single December, I would come to him with the same, request, like, "Hey, I need more ops." My annual review was never, for me at least, tied to money or, salary. For me, it was tied to more of um an opportunity to prove myself. Like, I
Yeah.
just wanted to be able to prove that I can do what I was doing.
You saw the growth potential in the business and you said, Let me run, let do more, do more." So you
Yes,
pushed me forward in that direction.
yes.
So which led to you guys in I believe 2019 or 2019 selling to a larger DSO, and then going through that going through that process. And we're going to skip over that because I think that what I really want to know is that um, the 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 change from, or the decision to leave that larger DSO in 2020 left you and Dr. Patel with a lot of learnings and I think a lot of insight into what to do next and what to do better. And kind of that is it, that's kind of what I talk about next, right? Like so you started Transparent Dental with Dr. Patel in 2020. So what was the original goal for starting Transparent Dental? Like that's why I was saying earlier, is it Smile Obsession or Transparent Dental? But
Right.
so tell me a little bit about what the original goal there is.
For us, we were on a mission to, it's easy for people to go to anywhere, any place of business and say, like, these people don't know what they're doing. I could run this
Yeah,
place better. It's easy for people to say that.
yeah.
For us, we were on a personal mission to prove that the experience that we had with the DSO that bought out Downtown Dental, the experience that
Mhm.
we had with that DSO, we felt that there was a ton of room for improvement.
Okay.
We saw a lot of negative, um, reaction from our patients, from our team, from our doctors. We had a lot of hygienists leave, we had doctors leave, and we had patients leave. I'm very, very proud to say the only department that did not lose a single team member was the administrative department.
Okay.
Um, and I felt like that's a lot to do with me being
A
a
direct leader.
cheerleader, well, a
Yeah.
cheerleader for the change,
Yeah.
uh, trying to keep it positive.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see it through.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so when we had enough, we had enough.
Yeah.
And we were, again, it was a blessing in disguise that COVID happened, because that kind of led the way for us to walk away from downtown dental
Yeah.
and start something ourselves.
Yeah. So from those learnings, what is it that like specifically you took with you to say, okay, so here's what we're going to do different. Is there like one, two, three things that you were like, okay, this is really what I want to implement now?
Yeah, so for us, transparency was the biggest thing. You know, I've met, you know, since we've grown, so Transparent Dental Group is the parent name for
Yeah.
Smile Session Dental. Smile Session Dental is the name, the brand that everybody knows for the clinics, but
Yeah.
Transparent Dental Group is the parent company.
Yeah.
So for us, you know, we've met plenty of doctors who are looking to sell their practice and who want to work with Smile Obsession or want to sell their offices to us. And it's easy for us to say that, like, hey, we're going to lay the cards out for you, and this is what you can expect if you work with us. It's easy for us to say that, but it's another thing to back it up.
Yeah.
And, you know, you hear about buyer's remorse, and I don't ever want to come across as somebody that, hey, we sold Downtown Dental and we were just not happy with the changes. That's absolutely not it. Um, we went from being able to be transparent with our teams, our doctors, our patients, to ourselves not fully understanding what these changes were, like how this company operated, what we could and what we couldn't tell our patients. I mean, it got really bad. I have one primary example. I had a patient that was rightfully owed a $50 refund.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it took like 3 months before she can actually get that
It could be
refund.
processed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that there's it's not an accident that both the parent company has the word transparent in it and the brand has the name obsession in it, right? Like clearly you want the clarity and the transparency of what you do and how you operate as a practice, and you take the business of dentistry and or the care for patients very seriously, i.e. that's your obsession. So that's the through line I see.
Yes.
With that, like, what was the proof of concept that you guys wanted to work on or show when you started the first location? And what was that for you guys?
You know, for us, you know, transparency, that's kind of our North Star.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we, again, going back to COVID, I mean, we've been very, very blessed on our path down this road. Um, in a sense that when things happen, we don't really understand them right away, but you know, it always comes out that, hey, that was good for us that this happened. That was good for us that
Yeah.
that happened. You know, even the company being bought out, Downtown Dental being bought out by the DSO, again, I look at it now like a blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah.
Had that never happened, I probably would never have even known of this DSO space. You know, we thought we
Yeah.
knew everything about dentistry. We thought we were the kings and queens of dentistry, downtown Chicago, best office. And then when we were introduced to this DSO space, we like went from here to here, and we're like,
Yeah.
we don't know anything.
Right.
So for us, like I said, you know, transparency is always going to be our North Star. Building this company, you know, when we get puzzled or when we get stopped, like stumped about how to operate, we're like, wait, you know, let's just be upfront. Let's just be upfront. Let's, you know, put this information out there, or let's set the standard here, and this is the reason why. And
Yeah.
we've learned that, and we've time and time again came out on top just for being transparent, whether it's with patients, doctors, team members, whether it's, you know, online, direct for everybody to see, or whether it's something that's behind the scenes within our company. People appreciate transparency.
Yeah.
And
So, sorry,
you're good.
didn't mean to interrupt. Because I think that this is really an important point, because I do think what you're kind of alluding to, and yes, you're giving I think you're giving the journal hard work too much credit, because it is your effort and your personal effort into it that sets you apart from other dental startups. And the word transparency really has meaning for you guys in that sense. Like that's what I'm getting from what you're saying, where essentially you're like, look, there's good, there's bad, and there's a lot of hard work, but we are upfront and honest about this, and that is what sets us apart. Is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement. Because whether it's good, bad, indifferent, it it speaks volumes to people when you're able to lay your cards down and be honest about something.
Right.
I have I have doctors who patients get upset with them about something, and I, have to be completely honest with the patient. Like, hey, you know what? I agree with you. This could have been
Yeah.
handled differently. And thank you for sharing this with us. I'm
Yeah.
going to make sure that this doctor, is does some retraining with our chief dental officer. This is her name, this is her email. It's
Yeah.
not just like, fluffed up. It's very, hey, we take this serious. We can improve. I I'm sorry that you had to be the person that we learned this lesson through, but I also appreciate it, and I appreciate
Yeah.
if you consider continuing to do business with us. But
Yeah.
understand if you're not interested in it, because at the end of the day, we all have to choose how we spend our money wisely. And if we didn't live up to our part of it, that's our fault, not yours.
Right. So clearly you hit a chord with a community in your area because between 2020 and today, you've grown to 27 locations. Is that right?
No, no, no. We're at 18 locations in
18. Okay.
five
Sorry,
years.
or spoke here. Sorry, 16 locations, which still is from startup to now, an impressive thing because you guys are doing this on your own, right? Like you're not private equity backed. You're truly growing organically through the efforts of essentially goodwill and a lot of patience. Is that
Correct.
okay?
Correct.
So I guess my next question is now that you have 16 locations under your belt, how do you manage all the onslaught of staffing, getting people ready, et cetera, et cetera? How does that work? How did in 2020 it was one location, now it's 16. Like what's the day-to-day difference there for you?
Yeah, that's got to be the hardest lesson so far, is going from line of sight management, physically seeing, smelling, hearing, touching the day-to-day
Yeah.
operations within the clinic, to implementing processes that ensure things are being handled correctly.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry. This I've been waiting and dying to get to this topic because in the research I did, you guys have a so-called no front office staff and no phone policy in your practices. And when I read this, it blew my mind. So sorry for interrupting, but you do have to tell us about that. How do you do that? And like give us insight into that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we believe in keeping things simple, right? Over
Yeah.
complicating things, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the patient, it doesn't help the team, and it for sure doesn't help me. So I like to keep things as simple as possible. We don't have layers of management. So a lot of times the buck stops with me. And when that's the case, I want to make sure that I'm reducing the amount of issues that are coming my way. And in order to do that, I have to make sure that we're even bringing on the correct people to do the jobs that we have for them. That goes for
Okay.
doctors, that goes for assistants and hygienists, and even our administrative team here in our support center. So the way that we do that is we do a very thorough interviewing process.
Yeah.
We make sure that our team members know what they're getting into before they sign up, because the way that we operate, it's not for everybody. And the last thing that we want is for people to, again, have any type of buyer's remorse. Hey, I didn't know I had to do this. I didn't know I was responsible for that. No, we let them know, like, hey, we probably operate about 90, we probably operate differently than 99% of the jobs that are out there, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Not for everybody. But if you are for us, I can promise you that we will take care of you. So when we came out of COVID, one of the things that we learned very early on, just like everybody else, is that it was extremely hard to find people who wanted to work. Whether they're talented or not,
Yeah.
that wasn't even a question anymore. It's
Yeah.
just people wanting to work. So we had to implement a system of being receptionless. And we had to really make sure that we had a process that was not going to be disruptive to the provider's day, to the patient experience, and to our team members, right? We wanted them to not feel that they were being completely overworked. So what we did was we took out like 95% of the administrative duties from the clinic, the
Okay.
complete clinic. So that is handled in our support center, aka our headquarters.
Okay.
So in our headquarters, we have a team of dedicated administrative personnel who have all worked in the clinic at some point, so they understand that clinic experience. They're not that detached that they don't remember. They do remember that what makes sense on the schedule doesn't always make sense in person. So they have to be considerate of the doctor's time.
Yeah.
So my team here in our headquarters in Oak Brook, they handle the incoming calls, incoming emails, appointment conversions, claims, statements, recall, confirmations, outstanding treatment. So my team here handles that. My team is it's not a big team. I have about 9 women here. So they handle everything for all 18 locations.
Okay.
The teams in the clinics, we make it very clear to our providers, our hygienists, and our team members, you are all going to now be responsible for this. However, you will be compensated for it as well. What they are responsible for is they're responsible for 4 R's. Bring it down to 4 things. Patient registration. Revenue, so making sure that they're collecting the copayment at the end of the appointment. The reappointment rate, making sure patients are leaving with the next appointment, whether it's preventative treatment, preventative or restorative. And reviews, encouraging patients to leave reviews.
Nice.
So coming out of COVID, we did realize that we had to pay a higher rate to attract anybody to work, let alone talented people to work. So we were already kind of stuck in that lane of we're going to have to pay people more to come back to work. So why don't we just say, hey, you're expecting this, but we'll actually give you this, but we need you to do these 4 extra things. And it's not just a matter of doing them. You have to prove you can do them. So the doctors, they go through what we call root camp. So they do
Explain.
They do a 2-week onboarding. They visit our other providers. They see how they're implementing our processes, just to make sure it's something that they can get on board with when they actually start.
Right.
I've not ever had any doctor not start with us because of that. I've actually had many doctors say that they prefer it this way because they feel like they're in the driver's seat of their production and they feel that like they have autonomy at the clinic.
They're essentially chair side monitoring the doctor who is this, I want to call him the senior dentist in the practice, to learn while observing and doing.
Yes.
Amazing. Incredible.
And with the assistants and the hygienists, the same goes for them. I bring them on, I let them know, hey, this is what you applied for to make, but I'm going to give you this, but I need you to show me that within 3 months, my reappointment rate is not going to drop. The collections are not going to be missed, and our reviews are not going to start to turn sour. Because it's a two-way street, right? Like I want to be able to retain team members, but I also want them to be a part of the process. Like I want them to understand that it's important that you do your part to keep this operations flowing, right? We're all adults. They're adults. I hire adults. They understand that, hey, we're different, but we're also different in ways that like you're not going to have a manager on top of you. You're not going to like you know what's expected of you. The numbers speak for themselves. I pull the reports at the end of every month, and we do I send out a monthly newsletter, and every single month I highlight those 4 R's for every single office. Those are the
Yeah,
only numbers we discuss. We don't talk production. We don't talk
the main
anything
focus.
else. All we do is focus on those 4 numbers. And
Yeah.
on top of that, they're bonused out as a team. Hey, your
Uh-huh.
reappointment rate was over 85%. Our goal is 85% per office. I know
Yeah.
some people have told me like, oh, it should be 90%, it should be 95%.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm realistic. I've been in the clinic, I lived in the clinic. 85% is a great number.
Right.
So
And you feel it's an honest number, right? Like it's something that a team member can achieve and or hopefully exceed, right? Like
yes,
because it is right. And you have walked the walk in that sense.
exactly. And let me say, I could do 98%.
Well, let me start at 85.
but but I gotta lower the bar for everybody else. No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
no, no, no, no, no,
I
no.
love
I'm
this.
just an overachiever. I'm just an
Yeah, yeah, no,
overachiever.
it's all good. Like this is why in the position you're in, which is fantastic. I mean, like I know Dr. Patel is not going to hire or promote a dud. Like he hired you and promoted you because you were amazing at what you do. So I'm not surprised. But look, what I'm hearing is essentially COVID gave you lemons and you figured out how to make lemonade out of it by saying, look, people want to have a contactless experience and how do we do this and solve it, right? And you solved it, which I think is always easy to say, but really hard to do while you're growing. And the second thing, and I wanted to highlight this because you said something earlier and you're kind of like practicing what you preach is you said, line of sight is so important to maintain excellence, i.e. your management style of positivity and follow through and focusing on certain things is important. And you pull this staff and those tasks into an office where there's line of sight, there's oversight, and there's management. And I mean this in the most possible way, most positive way. Um, when people have questions, you are there to answer the questions and help them instead of them floundering, not knowing what to do. Because I know that when there's lack of guidance and there's a vacuum in knowledge, people fill it with whatever they feel is the right answer, and most often it's not the right answer. So I'm really impressed with your management style on that of saying no, we're pulling this in. There's 9 women who are doing this and they're doing an excellent job for frankly what you said 18 locations, so you would have to have 18 people and you have 9, right? I mean, like, so the efficiency and the effectiveness are tremendous, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, that is my claim to fame. I'm all about organization. I'm all about efficiency.
Yeah.
And I really, again, I'm going to go back to COVID. I mean, COVID was just one of the biggest blessing in disguises for us. Because of COVID, Dr. Patel and I, were able to kind of create our vision and
Yes.
lay down the foundation at a kind of
Yeah.
snail's pace. During the time when we had our first practice and the phones weren't ringing, I mean, we were just checking on each other each day, like, did you commit suicide yet? Did you? No, no. Like, did we make the right choice? Like,
Yeah.
are we crazy? Like, are you nuts? Should I go see somebody? Like, am I nuts?
Right.
We really, were in a position where we like really questioned ourselves every day. Like, should we have stayed where
Sure.
we at? Was leaving downtown a good idea? But in hindsight, it gave us the opportunity to really slowly build up what we had envisioned for this
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. Look, I mean, congratulations. Like it's always easy, like now that you're experiencing some of the success to look back. But yes, those startups are hard. And that's why so many businesses fail, right? Like, but the ones that do succeed, like you, have overcome enormous obstacles. So my final question for you is obviously we can talk here for hours, but my final question for you is like along your growth and the additional staffing needs that you guys have, how do you attract talent? How do you retain talent? Like give us an overview on how you do that.
Um, so I believe very firmly in So when I started in this industry, I had zero experience. I found somebody that was willing to give me an opportunity. And I believe in giving people opportunities. You know,
Amen.
we kind of go, I don't want to say we go after like the underdogs, but we know that there's still space where people can learn a lot from us.
Yes.
And I don't really mean that in a cocky way. I just mean that like
I
we're
don't
willing
know.
to teach, you know. We're willing
Yes.
to teach people and we let that be known. A
Yeah.
lot my entire administrative team, my entire all 9 of these women came to me with zero experience. Some of them have been
Yeah.
working with me for over 8 years.
Yeah.
And they're just like the best people you can find, you know, because
Yeah.
they are grateful for an opportunity. They now have a career that they can take anywhere across this nation and
Yeah.
find another job in this field. So for us, we like to bring on people who are just looking for somebody to give them a chance. And it's
Look,
really worked out
I
for us.
I think this is so important, and I mean, bless you for saying it this way, because I think this is one of the most overlooked um, parts of a career for someone when they start in a new business, a new environment, a new job, or a new career, or they're just starting out. Is finding someone in the organization that understands there needs to be a support system and a career arch, i.e., a pathway for people to see, I'm here, I can go here, and this is the way to get there. I think understanding and encouraging people and involving them in why they're doing what they're doing, i.e., training them and giving them guidance along the way and management training and all the other things that you're doing is such a great part of your success. Having interviewed both Dr. Patel and now having spoken with you in great detail, and or frankly spoken with other leaders about you in my research for this interview today, that is a consistent uh, through line that I hear from a lot of them. So congratulations on that. Like that is truly, I believe you are who you have as employees, and that is a reflection on your business, and that is why in large part you are successful. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, any final thoughts? Any things that you wanted to share that we need to know?
Yeah, I don't feel like I've conquered this space yet, and
Good for you.
I am I am always open to learning and
Yeah,
growing. I'm totally on board when it comes to change. I love change.
yeah.
And you know, I just think that it's important to always stay in that mind space where you just know that there's so much more. And especially going from private practice to entering the DSO space,
Yes.
if that has proved to me so much that there's just, you know, so much more to this entire industry than I've even tapped into yet. And I'm very excited to continue to grow and learn and
I,
meet people.
I think, Jacqueline, I think that is such a golden nugget that I 100% agree with, right? Like your willingness to stay open-minded and learning and understanding the capacity, the capabilities, and the management knowledge you have today, it has brought you to where you are today. But to always say, hey, I'm always open to learning, and change is the only constant in life, and
Yes.
embracing that is fantastic. Everybody out there, listen what you just said. Like this is really, really important. Is I think it's part of your not just success in business, but success in life, right? Like it's your willingness to stay open-minded and embracing the change that is inevitable. Thank you for saying that. I think that's very insightful and very important for us to hear. Um, like I mentioned, we can probably we could talk for hours, but we want to keep these things to 30 minutes or less, and we're already over, I think, by 3 minutes. So our apologies. But Jacqueline, thank you so much for spending time with us and illuminating and telling your story. Um, I am here, and or the goal for this is for you to understand all the business leaders that are out here that are making the dental industry who we are and what we are capable of. And you are a perfect example of excellence. And so I'm proud to have had you on our podcast today. Thank you
Thank you.
so very much. And looking forward to seeing you in person in October.
Yeah, definitely. I'm totally looking forward to that. I can't wait to meet you in person and
Yes.
your team as well. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jacquelyn.